Hi friends, today's video is going to be on Camaros, mostly this Camaro right here. It's a 1989 IROC-Z 28, and for any of those that are not familiar with it, IROC stands for International Race of Champions. They used to race, they had that race, I don't know if they still do or not, but they raced Camaros for years and years, and this was one of the body styles. I think they raced them all through third gen Camaros. That's what this is, a third generation Camaro. It has the, I'll show you, but it has the IROC decal on the side. I did spray over it because I'll go into all that too. But this is an 89. I bought it in 1990. Daily driver for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years at least. Then I bought a pickup truck, and the car pretty much sat. My stepdad drove it some, and then when my daughter got older, she drove it a little bit. She actually, one of the cars she learned to drive on. And I just want to talk a little bit about it and maybe show you a couple more Camaros in the process. Oh yeah, welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. $95,559 miles. That's original mileage. I know that seems kind of high, but nowadays, I guess not. Nowadays, you get so many things with 150,000 up to 200,000 or more. But this is a 1989 with 95,000 miles on it. Now, I do have the factory radio to go in it, to go with that. We'll put that back in it. Take this out. Let's take a little ride. Ride in the IROC. It's a pretty day. I haven't driven it in quite a while. I definitely haven't taken the T-tops out in quite a while. It's a fun drive. I always enjoyed driving this car. I kind of missed it. I need to get back to driving it some more. I got to do a few more things to it. Like most of my stuff. But that's a pipe dragging right there. I don't know if you hear that, but I got a pipe hanging down just a little bit. Pretty day. T-tops out. Just ride. she is. 1989 IROC-Z 28 Camaro. This is a 5.7, a 350 V8 factory. It's all numbers matching, all factory. This is the first year that you could get a 350, the 5.7, in a T-top car. And this is a real pretty factory color on this, but it had gotten so faded and the clear was coming off that I was gonna prime it. You see here is the factory color. It's a little faded on there. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got the IROC-Z on the door that I just sprayed over. Because, like I say, the paint was getting thin. And so I was gonna just prime it. I was gonna put the epoxy primer, like this car, and let it hold it. Well, I had a gallon of hot rod black urethane in the shop. So I thought, well, shoot, I'm just gonna hot rod black it. And it looked really good for quite a few years. That was almost 10 years ago that I did that. So I still plan to paint it back, either the factory color or very close to it. Let's see here. There's the IROC-Z emblem. And I'll show you the engine here in just a little bit. The little headliner's coming out of it, letting go. It's the original one. But other than that, the interior's in pretty good shape. All the seats are dash cracked on it, so I put a dash pad. So I put the dash pad on it, and that's about all I've done. It really needs a good cleaning up. But all the seats are in good shape on it. That one's got a few little issues, nothing much. And like I said, I need to put a headliner in. I can't believe how much they have gotten to cost for a little T-top car, no bigger than it is. But everything's gotten crazy. I did put the L88 hood on it. I did that in like 91. I bought the car in 1990. Had about 12,000 miles on it. It's got, well, I have that in another piece of the video. It's got a little over 95,000 miles on it now, original miles. All numbers matching. It's even still got the smog crap on it. I'll show you all that in just a minute. I'll show you under the hood. I even got the factory wheels on it. Really good car, fastest top-end car I've ever had. Even fooling with all these old hot rod Mopars and whatever else. This car is top end. It's got like a 277 rear end in it, and overdrive, and she will just flat out fly. With this body style, it's like the faster it gets, the closer it gets to the road. Also, let me tell you about the wheels on it. Most people probably aren't familiar with this. The wheels are offset. They stick out just a little bit wider in the front than they do in the back. That's so the car will track. So it'll drive good, and it really does. So you usually have directional tires on it. And this car actually has wheels that fit their spot. You can move the wheels if you have directional tires. I'm not sure if these on it now are directional or not. But originally it came with Goodyear Gatorbacks. They were very expensive tires, but it was just unbelievable. They were rated for over 150 miles an hour, the tires. But you have front wheels and rear wheels, and that's the way they're marked. So when you had directional tires on it, you couldn't rotate it at all. The front wheels have to stay on the front. If you switch them to the other side, the tire will be running backwards. So when you rotated the tires on this car with directional tires on it and these wheels, you had to pull all the tires off and put them on the other wheels. So it was a big deal to rotate the tires. Needless to say, I expect on a lot of them they didn't get that way. The back ones got slick from burning them off, and the front ones would get kind of slick from all the handling around it. So by the time it's all over with, it's all wore out anyway. But it has been a really good car. I really enjoyed it for years and years. This car is what, 35 years old now? And I've had it, it was a year old when I got it. I've gone through a lot with this, and I'm gonna show you some more pictures and stuff. A little more video that I have on this one. All right, let me get you in here and show you this 5.7. These were different in a couple of different ways, but mostly it's a 5.7 350 cubic inch. And this year model, this is the same engine that was in the Corvette. Only difference is that the Corvettes had aluminum heads, where this engine has the cast iron heads. Pretty much same design, it was just that was the difference. And it does have this air cleaner like this. I don't think all of them had that. It's got an air cleaner here and an air cleaner over here. Little square air cleaners. It sucks it in from the bottom, shoots it right into it. It is a tune port injection. And back when this was new and before this, they were big on the throttle bodies. So this was a little bit newer. I mean, there's a lot of cars that had this kind of stuff, but with this, it was a little bit newer design at the time. And matter of fact, I guess they're still using tune port. I don't know if they're calling it that now, but it's got the big air box, and the fuel injectors are down on a rail under here. The fuel injectors, and then the big air box, and the throttle body's right there in the front. Distributors in the back, so yes, it's got a distributor, not coil packs. So, and there's the factory color. It's a little hard to see. That's dirty too. I washed a little bit under here, but I didn't get much. Used a little dish liquid. Well, I got a little piece of video on that too. I'll show you that. But there she is. I still got the original sticker, got all the original smog stuff on it, which I guess I ought to take off, but I haven't in 35 years. All right, now I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. Well, the first pictures are going to be when the car was still about new. It was when I first put the L88 hood on and painted it. So this would have been about 1991. And they're actually pictures of pictures. Then it's going to go right into when I painted it hot rod black, the satin black. So you may wonder, why in the world would he paint that pretty red car black? Well, you got to remember, it was well over 20 years in between those pictures. So the paint was, getting real bad, and I didn't want the car to rust. And like I said in the video, I was going to prime it, and I thought, no, I've got hot rod black paint, so I just put that on there to hold it. Now, that's been almost 10 years, and I'm going to paint the car. I've got a lot of paint work to do, and that's going to be a lot of what I show you on this channel. I do a little bit of everything, but I normally body work and paint. So I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, and that way when I do whatever I do, exhaust work, engine work, wheels, tires, whatever, paint work, you won't miss it. And I want to bring you along, and I'd like for you to see it, and I really appreciate everyone that watches. So subscribe and enjoy. Thank you. All right, friends, I have a little bit more on the IROC, and I wanted to show a little bit about the 74 Camaro I have, the blue one with the white stripe. But right now, the editing program I'm using only lets me go a little over 15 minutes. And so that's gonna have to be it for part one. But I'm gonna go ahead and upload and drop part two, be right after this, and it'll be a little bit more on the IROC, but there'll be a little bit on the 74. And I will do more on the 74 when I get back to working on it. But I just wanted to show it to you, introduce you to it, and let you know some things are coming up on it. So stay tuned, watch part two. I really appreciate all your views, your likes, your comments, and please subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you at the shop.